We just want to talk.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our podcast. This is the fourth episode of We Just Want to Talk, and about Tegan and Sara. And today's episode is special because we're finally going to talk about High School, the TV show, not the book, but of course we're going to mention the book that it's derived from or of. And we're not going to spoil anything if you have not watched it, even though we're pretty sure almost everyone has watched it. Why everyone must watch High School. So please, if you have not watched it, I hope you do after this episode, and maybe you can share it with people who have not seen it and convince them to watch it so we can get a season two. So, this episode, I hope that it can get the views that we would like, or it can get, recognized because we want to give you some reasons why high school is important. At the beginning, we're going to introduce high school. And we know that it's taken out, or it's a serialized version from the memoir High School by Tegan and Sara, obviously. And yeah, Debbie here is holding the book. Is this the original cover of the book?
Yeah, this is the Canadian cover. I don't have the American one. The American one is the one with the mirror.
I do
Maybe
have the
Dom
American one,
can
but it's
put.
in my room.
Oh, Dom will
Yeah,
put a picture.
yeah, a picture. Yeah, of course, I
There are a
haven't
bunch of versions. These two are the Canadian hardcover and
I
paperback,
have the American one, but it's in my room. I'm not gonna get it right now.
but the
So Dom put a
American and
picture.
there's also a UK version too. They're
The colored
different.
one, right?
Yeah,
The
and I
colored one
have a
is the UK.
pamphlet from the Crybaby tour. They were giving these out for the show. So
That's
this is
nice.
yeah, this is from the show, and then these are so the show is based on the memoir by Tegan and Sara. These are Tegan and Sara, and then these are
Yeah.
the actors.
Oh,
I
that's
think they
nice.
have
That's
they
the
actually
poster of the
I
show,
think they did
right?
a picture like this, right? Rayleigh and Season. I think they have like a reenacted
Yeah. They did.
reenact.
They did back to
Yeah,
back.
cool.
They did.
Maybe
I
Dom can
forgot
post.
to introduce ourselves basically, but I mean, I guess you know us. This is me, Mariam, and I'll be the host today with Debbie and our editor, Dominique. Hello, Dominique. How are you?
Hello, I'm good.
Sorry for forcing you to speak, by the way. Anyway, let's go back to high school. The release date of the show was on, correct me if I'm wrong because I'm stuck with dates, no, not 21st. No, it wasn't October. That's Crybaby, I'm sorry. It was
18th. Let me check. Hold on,
wasn't
because I think because it was released in the US on FreeVee. So High
yeah.
School is on Amazon FreeVee. It's a free app in
Yes.
the US, the UK, and
Now, here's the
Australia.
thing, Amazon Prime or Amazon Freevee. Amazon Prime is
No, only US and
requires
UK.
paid. Yeah, I know. Requires subscription, paid subscription. But Amazon Prime is released on Amazon Prime in US, UK, Canada, and what else? New Zealand and
Australia and New
Australia, right?
Zealand. Yes.
Yeah, but not in Europe, unfortunately. Not yet, not anywhere else. And I hope we can get that soon because where I live, we don't have it. So I have to use a VPN to, am I gonna get like
No.
is it gonna get flagged if I say
VPNs
that? I use
VPNs
it.
are legal.
Yeah, I paid. I swear to God. Like this have been days
Yeah,
trial.
yeah.
The
So High
VPN
School,
to watch it.
the first two episodes were released October 14th
Oh, 14th, October 14th.
on Amazon
Yes.
Freevee in the UK and the US, and then two more
Mhm.
episodes the next week, and then all of them were released like the third week um in on Prime 2. So like
Yeah.
officially I would say October 21st, all of the episodes were out on
Uh-huh.
Freevee
Okay.
and Prime.
Prime. Yeah, and it's eight episodes long. We only
Eight
have one
episodes.
season. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
8 episodes, and the episode is only about half an hour long. It's not very heavy to watch. It's very light. It's very nice to see. I watched it, I think, 5 times already, and
I
two
don't
of
even
these
know how many.
times, I
I
mean,
made
when
so
we
many
edit,
edits on TikTok that like
yeah, I memorized it. That's other than the edits, like the full watch. Two of these times, I watched it one time with my sister and one time with my friend, and it was like, on one sitting, and we just finished it. It's a very easy watch, so you don't have to, worry about, concentration or, paying too much attention or, being in the right mood, because trust me, you will be in the right mood. It's starring, I guess, the twins, Rayleigh and Season. How do you pronounce their last name? I always forget. Is it
Gilliland,
Gilliland or Gilliland?
Gilliland. I think it's
Gilliland?
Gilliland.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gilliland. Rayleigh and Season from TikTok, and their acting is surprisingly very great. This is something I have not expected, but I'm very happy about it. There's
They're also
also
twin
Kobe
sisters.
Smulders. They're twin sisters and they're queer. We're going to talk about this in a bit. So representation, of course, it matters. Kobe Smulders as well. Kobe Smulders, she plays their mom, and her name is Simone. And of course, you know that the names have been changed from the book. So in the book, they
The
kept the
only
mom's name
the only names they kept were Tegan and Sarah. All of the other
and the last
characters have
name,
different
Quinn.
names.
Yeah.
Quinn, yeah. But
Yes. And
not Simone's last name. They changed
no,
it.
no, no,
Bates.
no. They changed that,
Simone
of
Bates.
course.
Yeah.
And then there is what's his name? He's Teddy from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That's all. What's his name? His
Um,
real name? He plays
Patrick
Patrick
or
anyway.
David?
Yeah. No, he plays
Kyle.
Patrick. I forgot his name. Anyway, yeah, I suck with names. He plays
Same.
Teddy on on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and he's shown a really different character, and he was very serious,
So
but it's
his
very
last name
loving.
is
I loved his character.
Bornheimer.
Bro, I don't know. Dominique, can you please correct this if you can?
Kyle Bornheimer. Heimer.
Something. Please don't get us canceled for not being able to pronounce the last name. We're not English speaking people. Anyway, yeah, this guy, this handsome guy, yeah, and he plays Patrick,
He
who's
plays
basically Bruce,
their
stepdad.
stepdad. Yep.
Their stepdad, and I loved his character. Honestly, I loved it. I really it made me feel very emotional. Um, and these are the main characters, of course. We're going to talk about the other characters in a bit. Of course, there are many reasons why everyone should watch this show. It's not only because you're a fan of Tegan and Sara. Um, you can relate to it. I think Gen Z can relate to it actually, even though it has starred in the or it has it resembles the 90s or it has the 90s vibes. I just think that is very relatable today. And yeah, do you like to say something before we list the reasons?
Uh, from what you said, I think that like Gen Z or anyone will relate or like the show because it has no nostalgia from the 90s if you're interested in the 90s, the
Mm,
queerness. And even if you're not queer, it's just about being a teenager. Like even if it's in the 90s,
that's
I think
true.
that
Yeah.
like everyone can resonate because being a teenager is hard and I think it portrays very well like the relationships when you're a teen and then like you don't really know how to like a lot of things. Well, I think the show portrays it very well that a lot of things you when you're a teenager you don't know how to express yourself or be really direct, so it's about like when something happens to you you kind of react instead of talking to them. I think that happens
Yeah.
a lot because you're so young that you just don't know how to deal with things, so like you're figuring it out as you go, and I think the show is like portrays that really well.
Yeah, I do definitely agree. And I forgot to say something is that the show doesn't, it's just one season for now, so it portrays the Great 10 segment from
First
the
year of
book.
high
If you've
school
read the
in
book,
Canada.
yeah,
It's also in
yes.
set in Calgary,
Mm-hmm. This
Alberta.
is the setting, 1995, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
four? Is it four and
Starts in
five?
1995. Yeah, 1995.
And then 1996,
Yeah, have
halfway
it
through that,
starts.
yeah.
Yeah, it starts in the beginning of the school year in
Mm-hmm.
1995, and then it ends before summer 1996. So first year
That,
of high
yeah.
school. In
First year of
Canada, it's
high
only 3
school
years.
in Calgary, I think.
No, in Canada, it's only 3 years of high school, I think. Only in Calgary, it's three
No,
years.
no, in Calgary. It's only in Calgary.
Oh, I
And
thought,
yeah,
well,
yeah.
yeah. Anyways,
I think Marley said something about that the other day. So,
okay.
not the other day,
Well,
last
so
year.
in Calgary, it's only 3 years, and
Yeah.
the season is the first year of high school. They said before that if they get more seasons, like the goal would be five
Yeah.
seasons, and then they would have the first year. And second season would be summer between first and second year. But I don't know.
Hmm.
I hope it gets renewed, and then we'll find out. But like, I'm a little scared. What if they get season two, and then we see summer, but we never see the other years? I don't know what they're gonna do.
Yeah, that, but we need to, the thing is with this, is that Tegan and Sarah's, career did not stop at, figuring out how to play the guitar or, finding music. And it continued. And now, 25 years later, or more than 25 years, they have a full career. And we would like to see how this all began. That's why we need a
Oh
season
yeah,
two and three and four and five, and possibly
yeah.
until they're old and no, I'm just kidding. But I would like to see it play out. So we need the help of the fan base to promote this. We're trying our best, but it's going to get canceled like every queer show that's being canceled right now. So if we don't do the work, if we're not going to promote the show, if you like it, promote it. Talk about it on Twitter, talk about it on TikTok, talk
Tell
about it
tell your friends, tell
everywhere.
them to watch it.
Please, yes. It's not
It's a good
a
show. It's not like people are
it's not a
forced. They
boring
really like the
show.
show. Yeah,
And
exactly.
I know a lot of people liked it, but why can't we see the same promotion of the show? Why don't we do that? I know that not having it, being accessible in Europe and maybe
Yeah,
some parts of the Middle East is a major issue because that's where, and even in Latin America as well, right? In South America, we
yeah.
don't we
No, it's
don't
not
have,
available
yeah.
there.
So
But
that's
I feel
where the
like
most
people,
ratings.
yeah, I feel like people should still talk about it because if it gets renewed, maybe they will distribute it in like the rest
I've
of the
heard,
world,
wait, I
hopefully.
read I read a comment that it's coming out in Germany on January 8th.
Oh,
So
that's
maybe
nice.
all of Europe. Yeah, so let's
Hopefully,
hope
yeah,
that
hopefully more places. Yeah, for sure.
I
Did you say
just have
January
a hope.
8th?
Yeah.
Okay.
I read
So
that on Instagram, on Tegan's
this is
Instagram, a
going to come
comment.
out. We're recording. By the way, we've been recording like almost 2 weeks before each episode is out. So if we're delayed, and like if you leave a comment and then we take too long to reply to you, like on the podcast, that's because we're only seeing it like 2 weeks after, if that makes sense.
Mm,
So
mm,
this is
mm,
going to
mm.
come out January 1st. So if you're watching this on January 1st and you're in Europe, hopefully on January 8th, you're going to be able to watch the show. And then you should totally watch it from the app or from, like you should stream it. So, it gets popular in your
We
country.
hope so. I mean, it's just a comment. When I looked, I honestly did search it. I didn't see anything, honestly, about that. So I did do the search. So I'm not sure. It's a comment on Tegan and Sarah's Instagram. Yeah.
I
It
wonder if
said
we can
it's coming
Google
out
that.
on January. You can go to the post, the high school post, and you can see the comment in there. But yeah, I don't know. We'll hope. I mean, let's hope that it does come out on January 8th. Okay, so why do we need a second season? I'm going to list a few reasons, and we're going to discuss them. The first one, of course, it's the plot, and we're not going to spoil anything. We're going to do a whole analysis of maybe each episode or each two episodes soon. But this, for this episode, we're just going to give you an overall summary. I think we already began doing that. So it's Tegan and Sarah, and they're in the stage of figuring themselves out. Their relationship is a bit tricky, I suppose. They want to be separate from each other, and of course, if you've read the book, you know that Sarah is hiding a big secret with her best friend, who's basically Phoebe in the show and Naomi in the book, and they have a secret relationship. I think the trailer does give you this vibe, this
Yeah, I think
suggestion.
It's a given.
It's a given, yeah. And then Tegan, she was part of the friendship, and now she's pushed away, and she wants to know what's going on. She doesn't know. So when they move to the new high school, or when they start high school, I'm sorry, they try to be separate. So Tegan finds her own friend groups or group. And what else? What happens? I want to say something, but I don't want to, like, I want to say as much as I can, but I don't want to spoil.
Well,
They resort to,
it starts with them not like they have their differences, and it's about like they're twins, so it shows how like relationships between uh sisters and twins, it's not
specifically
always,
twins, is tricky.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
not always, they're not always best friends. They want to be like their own person, and then I think the show shows you like how that relationship can be, because they were really close, and then when Sara and they have a collective best friend. I don't know if that's the word.
Yeah, yeah,
They have the
it is
same best
correct.
friend, and then Sara and the best friend Phoebe, they freeze out Tegan, and that's when they start
Hmm.
realizing that like not everything has to be shared. So it's like the starting point from the show, and then they go to high school. They don't know anybody in high school, so they become their own people, and then eventually uh, they get
They
along
find,
again.
yeah, but
They
this happens
they
through
find a
music,
common
through,
through
yeah,
music.
yeah. It's a common ground that, makes them, you know, uh, connected again, and
Yeah,
be nice to each other. But there's also something that this is not only about Tegan and Sara and the music they find, it's also about human relationships. So you're going to see the mother and the stepdad, and the relationship struggles they're going through and how they deal with that. You're going to see the relationship between them, between Simone and Sara, and Simone and Tegan. And, it's the mother and daughter relationship.
yeah.
It's not very accentuated, but it's hinted at. And this is important for us as teenagers. Even friendships, and how people get along and how people don't get along, and how intimate friendships can be when you're in high school, and how close you are to your friends. It's and the idea of longing when you're in high school and when you're a teenager and you have a crush on this person and that person, you feel like, you feel something for
You
everyone,
don't
and
really understand what's happening
you don't know, and it's
because it's the
very well
first time. So
portrayed.
it's like, what am I feeling? Like, you know,
Exactly. And it's not portrayed in a cringy way. It's very well
no.
portrayed just through the glances, the looks, and I don't know, the music, the cinematography. We're going to talk about this as well. You can
Yeah, in
just
the
feel the
book,
longing.
yeah, in the book, the chapters alternate between Sara and Tegan. So
Mhm.
each chapter is one of them from their perspective, and then on the show, it's similar. You have the perspective of Sara and Tegan, and but you also have the perspective of other characters.
That's true.
So in the book,
We're going to talk about this. Yeah.
you don't really see the other people's, like what is happening with their lives. It's like how Tegan and Sarah perceive them. But on the show, you have their side as well, which is really interesting. And I think it like gives it a little bit more uh like depth to
Hmm.
the story for sure.
Of course. Yeah. What I like the most about it is the second point, which is the realistic LGBTQ representation or queer
Hmm.
representation, especially of young girls. This show can be watched by everyone and anyone. You can watch it with your family. You can watch it with, your teenage daughter or son or whatever, or what, you can watch it with everyone. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have an age limit, I suppose. I mean, of course, not I don't know if you can watch it with your very young child. I don't know,
I
like
think
5-year old. No, you can't.
does it have
But I
a
don't know.
Is it PG
Age
13?
limit?
I don't know.
No, it's PG-16. It's just the
Oh,
drug intake, I guess, but
true.
it doesn't show.
So that's
But
also something that it is on the show. It's like it
it's
portrays the
very,
teenage experience,
yeah.
but not in a way that is
It's not
like
in a
oh it's
trashy way. It's not in a sensualized way, which is
and
I
it's
love this.
and it's
I
not
remember I
teaching
was
people to like
do drugs.
exactly
It's not euphoria. It's not euphoria at all. Now, here's the
at
thing.
all.
I was very sad when I learned that it doesn't have like, the F word or cursing or, major like, I don't
They made it
know,
work.
scenes. But I actually really enjoy that it doesn't because I was able to watch it with my sister without feeling awkward.
Hmm.
And my sister is young. Um, well, not very young, but
She's not that young.
she's not that young. I know, but it's awkward to watch. I mean, she's
She's
not
off
18,
age.
19. I forgot. I mean, yeah, she's an adult, obviously, but it's just weird.
She's
Imagine
just
watching
younger
Euphoria with
than
my
you. She's
sister.
not little, huh?
Well, she's my baby sister.
Oh.
I mean, still, I'm not gonna watch Euphoria with her. That's just weird.
Oh,
No.
okay.
Got it? It's just the nudity? No, hell no. No, no, no. But with high school, that's fine. Um, yeah, what else? It has an actual, queer twins. That's that's really hard to find, and they were able to find that. So its representation does matter. Not only that, I think some of the
Like a lot of
characters, some of the
a lot
actors
of the
are
cast is queer, and
exactly the
the
cast.
crew is
Esther
queer, the
is, right?
director is queer,
It's directed,
the
we're gonna talk
writer.
about that. The writers, it's a queer show and it's represented well. That's the point.
Like
It's
it's a
not
queer show
overly.
made by queer people, so it's not forced. You don't watch it
You
from
can, yeah, you get the real picture of what it's like to be queer and in your teenage years.
Mhm.
It's not the dramatized or overly sexualized picture that really
Exactly.
it doesn't really happen. It's very easy to watch. It's very, smooth. The 90s vibes is another reason why you should watch it. Well, the scenery, you get I haven't ever visited Canada or lived there, but from the interviews I've seen, so I guess it did resemble Calgary in the 90s. With what's the store they mentioned? The store, was it called Sears? Was it Sears? I
Sears.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know what that is,
There's a
honestly.
scene. There's a scene at Sears because at the time when maybe it's a spoiler. Well, they show Sears, which is a store, like a department store, um, in
Yeah.
Canada in the 90s. So actually, I watched the first three episodes at TIFF before it came out, and then when Sears showed up,
Mm.
it was in Canada, and then like the entire room was like, oh my God, like it actually,
Culture reset.
yeah, because it shows the 90s, but not in a tacky way. It's not like forced, like, oh my God, this
It's
is
not
so
forced,
90s.
yeah.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
like you can relate, but at the same time, you don't watch it and then you're like, oh, this is old, or this
it
is
doesn't
like,
romanticize the 90s. It doesn't
yeah,
you know what my problem is
it's like timeless.
it's timeless. The movies that romanticize or shows that romanticize the 90s, like they're made right now, but they show the 90s, they show them with really bright colors and the hair and
Yeah.
everything. The 90s weren't bright. I remember I lived in the 90s and they weren't that bright. I
Well,
mean,
like, it
I
was
don't
bright, but it's people tend to like if they want to show that it's the 90s, then they use it in a way that it's like in your face. While high school, it's like you can like from the
you can
music
tell
and
it's the
from
ниneties.
yeah,
Yeah. The phone,
cinematography.
the
Yeah, you can
cars.
tell it's the 90s, but it's not
It's not in your
forced.
face.
Yeah.
It's not forced, yeah. Um, I guess also the music, something you mentioned, you have an
Hmm.
amazing, amazing soundtrack.
All songs are from the
And
90s.
yeah, and then there's I Tegan and Sara did cover Today by the Smashing Pumpkins, and that's a very beautiful cover.
Yeah, it's on the
We have
trailer.
Nirvana references, of course. What else? A lot of good music. And it starts with a song, I think. Every episode starts with like a song, maybe
Yes,
something like
I
that.
think so.
I forgot. What else? The clothes. Well, the 90s. You don't get the And what did people wear in the 90s? I guess we wore a lot of crop tops. I remember I had lots of crop tops. Yeah, the clothes though. So a lot of flannels. So
A lot of
baggy
flannels, they
jeans.
a lot of
Yeah.
layers. Um, I think there was a live with the cast that Amanda was like, "Oh my God, I love," because she wore long
Mm.
johns with um shorts.
The shorts. Yeah.
So that was really like, okay, wow, iconic, but also like bold.
Yeah. But it's good. It's
Very
nice.
from
It
the
did.
90s.
It did look nice. I don't know. I didn't find any problem with it.
It was very like they I think they really showed the alternative style like from the time. I think they did a really good job. I think because
Hmm.
also like Tegan and Sara, obviously they're producers, and a lot of people who made decisions were from the 90s. So like
Hmm.
they knew what they were
No,
doing.
they
I
were
think.
from the 80s. People who made decisions. Let's be real.
What?
Let's be real. People who made decisions, they're from the 80s, not from the 90s. The crew, they're older. I
Really?
mean, they lived the
I thought
90s. Yeah, they were
I thought they
teenagers in the
were.
90s. That's true. They were
That's
teenagers,
what I'm
but they
saying.
no people
I
from the
thought they were
90s. Me,
teenagers our age.
I'm people from the 90s. I was born in the 90s, but
No,
people from the
teenagers in the 90s.
yeah, yeah. That's what your points. That's true.
I'm from the 80s technically, but I'm not
Well,
at all.
you're not from the 80s. You're like from the last year of the 80s, right? 89?
Yeah,
Yeah, well, you're not. I mean, no, you're barely
just
from the
technically.
80s. No, I'm 94, mid 90s.
Mid 90s,
Anyway,
yeah.
uh, the hair, I love the hair. You know why? Because I'm so with you know, the what's it called? Oh my God, I forgot.
Wig
The middle part. No, the middle
or
part.
middle part?
I love the middle part. It's everything to me. Here's the middle part. So that's the middle
Well,
part.
I'm wearing braids, but also middle part.
Yeah, I love middle part. I love it's the 90s hair is the middle part. I remember I had my hair in like that, and then we had the side bangs all of a sudden, and that was disgusting, honestly. And
I
then
like
the
side
bangs.
bangs.
I had side bangs since 2008. No, even before that. I had side bangs till like 2 years ago. Till 2020 when I felt I'm very uncool as a teacher, so I need the middle part.
Hmm.
So my
Well,
students
but
can
you teach
relate to me.
Gen Z, so you were like, I need to be with the kids.
Yeah, because Gen Z now have a
Yeah,
middle part. I need to
yeah,
fix
that
this.
makes sense.
Yeah. So of course, that's why, and now I can't see myself with side bangs. What else do we have? The language. I don't know what I meant by the
So the
language. Ah, it's not okay. So, it's not
are you
cheesy.
done
Like it's
talking
not,
about the hair? Was it just the middle part that you
I
wanted to mention?
forgot. Yeah, I wanted to mention that really badly.
Okay.
Do you want to say something else about the hair?
No, I just it wasn't they didn't because like I
They
said,
didn't
when they
focus
do
on it.
90s
Yeah.
stuff, sometimes, they
They
really
over it. Yeah, they overdo
yeah,
it.
yeah, so for the hair it's just they didn't overdo it at all, but it
Because
is from the 90s.
if you watch Clueless, which was done in the 90s, you can see, simple hair, middle part, right?
Hmm. Yeah,
On what's her name? Sure, I guess. That's what
that's
I
the
remember.
character.
Yeah. Anyway, the language, here's the thing. What's so cheesy about those shows that are, or portrayed a certain era, like the 90s or the 80s, is they use certain words that are like, we're back to that time, like we relate to that time. High school didn't do that. It's just like it's easy, normal language. And what it's like, those POVs on TikTok when, somebody's like, Gen Z teacher is gonna be like, and then they say all the Gen Z phrases. And honestly, if a teacher does that right now in front of students, that's really, really cringy. Like if I say goofy in front of my students, they're gonna laugh at me.
The
If I
word
say,
goofy?
yeah, it's just a trend, like, goofy. It's like, oh, that's so goofy. Or if I say slay, oh my God, I'm gonna be the laugh of the entire class. Nobody says that in real life. They just do it on TikTok. So my point is,
Really?
yeah,
I
I
didn't know that.
know. No, 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 they don't. And there's this girl in my class that she keeps talking like that, the Gen Z um the Gen Z way, and everyone
Slang.
makes fun of her. Yeah, slang.
Yeah,
I
so
don't know.
yeah, when you watch other shows from like specific times, they try to fit slang from the time, but they overdo it.
Mm,
So like I we've been saying this a lot that a lot of shows and movies and stuff
mm,
that are from the past, they keep overdoing things, and then high school doesn't do that. And the language, I think it's one of the stuff because when I was watching it, I was actually trying to like figure out if some of the things that they say are from the 90s or if they're just because the language it wasn't when I watched it I didn't feel like oh my God this is 90s language
yeah, and
but at the same
I that's
time
my problem also with the idea of when I don't want to spoil the word
they say
homophobic. Was it used in the 90s?
yeah
I feel
no
like it wasn't commonly used. I don't know, but it wasn't.
homophobic
Yeah. When
I don't know
that
I
scene
was too
happened,
young but like
I mean,
they use the
I
word
live in the
totally
Middle
a lot
East.
they say
That's,
totally all the time but that
I haven't
which
noticed that.
which
I haven't.
I feel like we still do that, but it was also
Wait,
something that they
totally. In the early 2000s, we used totally a lot. Early 2000. I don't know about 90s, but I know that, the Kardashians use it a lot in the early seasons of the
totally. There's
Kardashians.
also Tegan says they were acting about what she says. They're acting aggro. Who says that?
I didn't understand that. What is it? Is it like aggressive?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
So
This
that's
is
I think
definitely
that's like
not,
90s slang,
yeah,
but it's
acting aggro.
it's
Yeah.
yeah, it's like one word. It's not all the time. They're like you know throwing 90s slang at you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
Hmm.
this one could be interpreted easily. So maybe it's a Canadian word. Maybe I don't know. But you live in Canada, you should know. Anyway,
I sh
this
I've been here for
that's
5 years.
yeah,
How would I know?
that's enough time.
No, they don't use aggro here
Okay, they don't. Not
right
in
now.
Toronto. Yeah. Cinematography. Oh, my favorite part to talk about. And Dominique, if you would like to weigh in on that, you can do that. Um, so the idea that Debbie mentioned, which is the POVs, the point of views in the book, they're only Tegan and Sarah's point of views. In the show, they're most of the characters' point of views. So we have Phoebe, who is played by Olivia Royer. Oh my God, I can't. I need a whole episode about Olivia Royer. I love her so much. And her point of view. And we have Amanda's point. What's her name? Amanda, I forgot.
Maya.
Maya's point of view. Yeah. And I don't know whose character is that in the book. I guess it's a mix of characters. But
Yeah,
I love
there are a lot of characters in the book, so they kind of group
mix them
them,
together. Yeah.
yeah, in different characters for the show. So I think she's a mix
Um,
of like two or three characters from the book, and I feel like
yeah.
some of the characters, for example, Maya, I feel like she's a mix of three characters in my head,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but some of the characters on the book that are Maya, or some of the elements are also in other characters
And other
on the
characters,
show,
yeah.
if that makes sense. So like even like they split characters from the book and gave elements to characters in the show, but they also like group them
Mm-hmm.
for different characters, if that makes sense.
It makes sense, but here's the thing. This is why
Like
we got the best
the
character.
characters are not the same. The show and the book are the characters are all different.
I honestly think that Maya is the best character. I love her. I love her so much. I
Yeah.
think everyone loves Maya, and we don't want to see her gone in season two. We want more of Maya. We want more Maya. Hashtag renew season two so we can see more of her new high
I
school
saw
for
an
Maya.
interview. I don't want to say any spoilers.
Yeah. Oh, that
So
Maya thing. Is she going to be? I mean, we don't know if we're gonna season two. Depends on you if you watch it, if you stream it, if you tell your friends about it. All right. So the POVs, oh, also got the mom's POV and Patrick's POV.
And their
I
dad
think their
too.
dad too, but it's a very mini POV. What else? I guess these are the POVs that we have. And they're very interesting because you can see something from Tiga's perspective, and then you can see it
Yeah,
also
some of
from
the
Sarah's
scenes,
perspective. They're repeated, but they don't make sense until you watch the entire episode.
yeah, you see some of the scenes twice from different perspectives.
And this is not boring, trust me. You know why? Because of that camera angle, which is amazing. I don't know what Clea, who's the director, did, is that the focus of the angle, you can see like when for example Sarah sees Phoebe and all the emotions, you can see it on her face and the music and
Yeah, they
how,
focus on whose perspective it is.
exactly. And then you can see everything and you're like in that emotion, you're just grabbed by it. And then when you see Tegan's POV watching that interaction, it seems so like it's so different.
Different.
And
Yeah.
and it's like, no, this is not the same thing that I've watched, but it's the same thing. And this is actually real life. The thing that is to you is different to someone else. And
Yeah,
I
the focus,
what she did,
you
the
can see that
focus,
the
yeah.
focus is totally different, and in the end it is a different scene, even though it's the same, because
Yeah.
the perspective is different.
Clea is brilliant with this.
Yeah,
Honestly,
they
it's
did that. They
just
did that really well.
perfect. The color palette. Many people dislike the color palette, and I'm
It's
one
just
of them
really
at the beginning.
dark.
At the beginning. It's really dark, but at the same time, I
Like
noticed that
it's
it does portray
moody.
the emotions. Yeah, it does
Yeah, for
portray
sure.
emotions because the colors that they use, you get blue in this color, blue in the only like the sensual scenes, the scenes of longing, I noticed. And then there is yellow when there is anxiety, and there is green when there is
Hmm.
anger. There's also red, these colors in different emotions, different scenes to portray different emotions, I've noticed, and especially blue. And there's this whole Maya and Tegan scene that the color blue is striking, and I understand why it's the color blue. And I guess because I interpret things a lot, I don't know, is it a literature thing? But blue is used for love and longing and the feeling of wanting something or wanting someone. So I do I like that. I would have appreciated if it were lighter, because some scenes are so dark, so
Yeah,
gloomy, but I understand the feel. I mean, the show
it sets the
is
mood.
it says the mood, but it's described as comedy. It's not comedy. I have to
No,
tell you that it's not at all. It's dramatic, and
there are
there
funny scenes, but it's
there
not a
are
comedy
funny,
at all.
but there are serious scenes, seriously serious scenes. Yeah,
It's definitely drama, like a teen drama.
it is.
You know,
I we talked about
something I
yeah, yeah.
realized is that the frame, so the show, most of the show is 16 by 9, which is like the
Mm-hmm.
widescreen. But
Uh-huh.
when
So
the
this
show
with editing,
starts,
it's smaller, the
it's like
frame.
it's like the 90s frame, because the TVs in the 90s, they weren't
Hmm.
widescreen. They were like
I was gonna talk about that, the focal point. It's I
three
noticed
three
this
by
through
four.
editing.
They were like
Yeah, three by
like a
four.
different size. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know if we're supposed to have a different feeling when we're watching it not in a widescreen. But
I feel
I
like
realized
it
that they
just
did
grabs
that,
you.
but I don't really know why. Like I don't know why they did that. If
I
if it
once
was just
read a research about being entrapped inside the frame of a movie or a TV show, and it was about The Handmaid's Tale and how you are imprisoned or in a cluster, you are in it's like imprisoned inside the camera itself through the
mhm.
focal point. Now, when it starts small and then it widens to grab you inside, that's my interpretation anyway. I feel like maybe that is the point, but sometimes you do feel like you're imprisoned by the whole. I don't
Well,
know.
I don't know. I thought it was just to kind of put you in the mood of the 90s, because at the time that's the size of the, like, you would watch TV and that was the size you would see things. So the format was like the 90s, so it puts you in that
Mm-hmm.
mindset, and then it
Setting,
goes to the
yeah.
rest, yeah, to the rest of the show
Yeah,
in
to
a
grab
regular,
you, to
yeah.
invite you in. To what put me in the mood of the 90s is the phones. Obviously, the phones. We don't use these phones
Yeah,
anymore at all. I don't see them. We don't have the landline in the house. Do you? I don't, nobody does
people
anymore.
do, but like it's
I
if
don't,
you buy
we
a new
stopped.
house, like most
Mhm.
people don't get landlines anymore.
We got rid of ours a while ago. So that made me, I was like, oh, the 90s and the phone. And when we used to fight over the phone, or like, hang up. I'm speaking now. You know that? And you're
People,
scared
yeah,
somebody would
like
hear
you would
you.
pick up, and then you could pick up from anywhere in the house,
Yeah. Oh my
and
God.
that
My
that happens
mom used to listen to every conversation I had with my friends. She would just
that
pick up, and I
happens on
was
the
so
book as
stupid.
well. Like you
Mm,
always want to make sure that no one else is listening,
listening. Yeah.
like from another place
I
in the house.
hated that. I hated that. I feel like, and then she was like, why did you tell this to a friend? Because I was young when when this happened. It was 2003 or something. I was eight, or yeah, eight. And I would be on the phone with my friend and we were talking about something probably inappropriate and we just figured it out in school. And she's like, what the hell were you talking about? She would listen to that, but I didn't notice that she was listening to me. So this reminded me of that. Um, Another reason why you should watch it, which is, it's connected to all of that, the cinematography and the focal point and the POV, which is, the direction is directed by Clea Duvall. Come on. Right, Dominique? You should watch it for Clea Duvall if you don't want to watch it for Tegan and Sara. It's produced by Tegan and Sara, though. It's directed and is it Lara Kittrell as well?
She didn't direct.
Written,
She only,
written by
yeah,
Lara and Clea,
and
and directed
yes.
by Clea. And of
Um,
course, yeah.
there was another director for like 2 episodes.
Yeah, and she directed episodes from Grace and Frankie, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and the episodes were four and
Was it
five, by the
five
way.
and six?
It's four and five.
Rebecca Asher.
Becca Asher, yeah, and that's good directing. I love these episodes as well. I
Four
think
and
episode
five.
six is my favorite.
Episodes 4 and 5.
Episode six, I
My
think, is my
favorite
favorite.
episode.
It's probably six for me.
Man,
Yeah,
I really like the first one.
six. Six is so good.
I don't know.
Six is the major one with like, the plot twist, I guess, at the end. See, the show is very calm. It doesn't have lots of action, but there are these plot twists that make you wanna continue watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really liked
Uh,
the first episode, the fourth episode, and the sixth
Fourth, I loved
episode.
it. Yeah, sixth is
Yeah.
my favorite. I love the eighth, but what the hell? Okay, we are left on a cliffhanger. I have to say that. That's why we need season two. Come on. I don't want to
Yeah, we're
be
not gonna say
left on
anything,
a.
but not
We're not
like
gonna
all of the
say.
questions are not answered. So
Yeah, it
be
was a
prepared.
very shocking, very, very shocking. It's not in the book, by the way.
No, the
That
ending
didn't
is really
happen in the
different than
book.
the book. I have the feeling. I think that like the next seasons are really gonna have
Stray
their
away.
own, yeah, from the book.
I don't
There
mind
it's
that. I don't mind that. I
Oh
just love the
no, not
show
at
as it
all.
is.
I'm
Because
pretty sure
it's
that
its own project. Why should it be canceled when we have finally a good queer show that has
yeah,
good representation, and then they're gonna cancel it again? That's gonna be heartbreaking.
the first and also in this first season they used things from later years in the book. So I think that for the next seasons it's really gonna be different from the book, but I'm sure they're
Hmm.
gonna bring elements from the book to the next seasons. But I think the storyline is gonna be totally different. Like I can totally see like even their relationships are not gonna be the same. I think it's gonna be its own story.
Yeah, I suppose so, and I don't mind it at
Like
all. I just love the
I don't want
show.
to
I
spoil
love
a
the
lot, but
production.
I I wanted to, yeah, I wanted to mention things. I'm not going because it's
No,
spoilers.
don't. We're gonna spoil in the other analysis episodes for those who have watched it. And
I
we're
think we
gonna
should have an episode for people who seen it. so we can like
Yeah,
talk
of
about it
course, we can
freely.
analyze. But you know when we're gonna do that? When we get the decision if it's going to be renewed or not.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, I'm hopeful.
And
Fingers
if
crossed
it
for
has a
this.
season two, we should watch it and then film an episode right after and be like, don't watch this episode of the podcast if you haven't seen it because spoilers.
If we're still doing that, yeah.
Huh?
You know, when Tegan and Sarah posted their plans for 2023, filming season two of High School wasn't. And I guess they're touring, that's why. So I'm not
But
hopeful that we're gonna get a second season next
I
year.
think in 2022 they didn't know either.
No, they did. We have a TV show to make. We
When did
were
they announce it?
told.
When did they announce?
Mm, 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 mm.
When?
Uh, in January. No, is it January? No, it's in November, I guess, that they're gonna film
2020?
the show. 2021.
2021.
Yeah.
I don't remember. But I think that that doesn't
We
mean
can go
anything.
back to their posts. We can go back to their. I don't know. I don't know. I just need it to be renewed so I can feel better. My anxiety can rest. I need another
But yes,
Calgary,
if we have when we
cast
have a
and
season
crew.
two, we are definitely going to recap every episode, like for sure. We should watch
Yeah,
it and then like record an episode recapping the episode, like a
exactly.
podcast
Definitely.
episode about each high school episode, season two. That makes sense.
Definitely. It does make
Are
sense,
we going
yes.
to do it with season one
I suppose we should.
with spoilers?
Hmm. I mean,
Okay,
we should recap every episode and and analyze it in details because that's what we do best. We talk about anything Tegan and
okay,
Sarah related. Yeah,
sounds good.
sounds good. Yeah, maybe 2 episodes each. Uh, Podcast episode. Who knows? I don't
Okay.
know. Yeah. All right. Another reason. I said it before, perfect for all ages, and Gen Z can still relate to it despite the fact it's about Tegan and Sarah, and it's about the 90s, and
Yeah,
it's about
the themes are
music.
very timeless.
Very timeless and very family oriented as well, and very
Hmm.
teenage oriented. Everyone goes through that, whatever it is, wherever you are, whoever you are, you go through whatever it is that they have been going through. Um, the story must continue because Tegan and Sarah's story didn't stop at discovering music. We said that already. We need to see what happens after discovering music.
Hmm.
I know we read it. I know we know how the story goes, but seeing it, serialized is different. It's really beautiful to watch. So why not?
But
Why
that's
not
what
give it an opportunity?
but that's what I was saying. Like the show is gonna be different than the book. So like we want to know what
But it
happens.
will have its elements. It will have its, the core of Tegan and Sarah and their career. It does. These are,
Yeah, it's
fixed
the start.
aspects.
It's how they started the music career. So
Mhm.
we want to see that, but it's gonna be different from the book. So I think that like the show must continue so we know what happens
The
in this
show must
version.
go on. Of
Like how are
course.
they going to unfold Tegan and Sarah becoming musicians, like professional musicians on the show, with
Exactly.
all of the characters and what happens with the relationships, what happens with the parents. We don't know
Uh-huh.
the
That's
show.
true.
I feel like even if you read
It's
the
not a
book,
one season. It's not a one season show. It needs to
no, like
continue.
yeah, we want to know what happens because I think it's going to be very different from the show, even already because we know what happens like on the last year of high school, but I feel like a lot of the plots are like happened before that. So I think that
Hmm.
year two and year three of high school are going to be really different than the book. And we want to know
Okay.
what happens. We want to know.
Hmm.
So I think it should be renewed because we don't know how they're going to unfold all of these stories that happened in
That's
season one, even though
I
some of them
definitely agree.
happened later in the book.
I agree. Um, all right. Well, these are some of the reasons you should watch high school, or you must watch high school. But I have a question, and this is going to be the podcast question. We're going to put it on Twitter, so if you would like to answer there, or in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube. Um, what was your favorite part about season one and you wish to keep? And what would you wish not to see in season two? So we're going to answer it right now, but also we would like to see your answers, whether on YouTube in the comments or on Twitter, which is the We Wanna Talk or Wanna Talk podcast. It's at Wanna Talk podcast, right? That's the Twitter account.
Wanna talk TNS pod.
Wanna Talk Tina Spot. Wow, I'm the best at promoting shit.
Find us on Twitter.
Yeah.
Wanna talk TNS pod. Tell us
Yeah, don't make
what
me
you
promote,
what you
just
think
make me
about.
talk.
Tell us your favorite part of the season one, what you want to keep for season two, and what do you
Uh-huh.
want in season two to happen, or what do you
Oh, my
hope for
hair.
season two?
I look like a dog. Okay.
You can comment on YouTube or um, tweet at us on Wanna Talk TNS Pod. What is your favorite part of season one, and what do you hope for season two, Miriam?
My favorite part of season one,
The problem
the
is
cast.
spoilers. Like,
The cast. Oh, I love the cast. Oh my God, you have no idea. I feel like
yeah,
this is the perfect cast, you know? That's why I want to watch. I want to continue. I want to see
oh yeah,
this cast doing these scenes, going through this plot, these events. I just love the cast and I love the acting so much. So I guess that's my favorite part. Something I didn't like and wish not to see in season two. I guess I didn't like that Tegan didn't Tegan's character. I Same thing.
she needs to be.
Didn't get. Mm, you can say
Yes,
it.
I agree with you. So you're gonna watch the show and then you can have your own opinion. But we both agree that
Hmm.
Sara, like a lot of the stories are heavy
It's
on
focused on
Sara,
Sara. Yeah.
focused a lot on Sara, and Tegan didn't have a lot of focus on herself. She, of course, she does have a storyline. She's the other twin. Um,
Here's the thing,
but
it's showing Tegan as a very goody two shoes, and she's like the innocent little girl who's always, protective of her sister, who doesn't know what's going on. She's very oblivious and she's like kind
but
of dumb,
even but
but she's
even then
not.
you can still give her more, you know, not screen time, but like things happening. A lot happens to Sara, and we
Yeah,
don't
I
see it,
want,
and we don't
yeah,
see it happening to Tegan, and which might be something that they wanted to show, that like because they're twins,
contrast,
not
but
everything
it's
happens to
not like the
both.
book. Yeah, I know, but in
It's
the
not like the
book,
book, yeah. So
yeah,
I agree with you. For season two, I hope that they give like
yeah.
Tegan
I didn't
more.
like that Tegan part, that from the book, I'm not going to say which part, was transferred to Sarah and was her own. It's not
Yeah,
Sarah's
on the book.
experience.
Yeah, on the book, things that happened to Tegan happened to Sarah on the show,
And this is a
and it
major
wasn't just
part.
one
It's a major
thing. It
chapter.
was
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't just one thing. It was like a couple of things. So yeah, I agree with you. I hope that they give Tegan more, just more on season two, because we
Yeah.
didn't see a lot of experiences that happened to both of them. We didn't see it on the show for Tegan. We only saw it for Sara. So I hope that they
Mhm.
they fix that for season two.
Yeah. I mean, I hope it focuses on Tegan and her journey as well, more than like it's equal. I hope it equalizes the whole thing. I don't want to see more
Yeah, I
Tegan
hope
than
so.
Sarah or more
Yeah.
Sarah than Tegan. I want it to be equal.
When we have our um other episodes of the podcast, when we talk about the
Hmm.
show with spoilers, we can go over like we can talk about it in detail, like what we think that should have, like, I mean, that we want it to happen, because I
Hmm.
can't say much without giving spoilers. So if you want to know our opinion, we're gonna
Yeah.
probably gonna talk about it in later episodes, more in depth of what we hope for the show and the characters in it.
What about you? What's your favorite and least favorite that you wish not to see on season two?
Well, the least favorite, I agree with you. It wasn't. I wish that Tegan had more
Hmm.
happening to her. Um, And so I hope that happens in season 2. My favorite for season 1, I think just seeing come alive, like we read the book and we watched some of like old footage of real Tegan and Sara when they were teenagers, but I thought I really, really liked, you know, like seeing it, watching it as a
Mm-hmm.
fan. So my favorite part, I think, was just being able to, see their coming of age story on screen,
Mm-hmm.
not just in my head. I think
I like that.
it's
Yeah, I was very
very
excited to see how
personal.
things materialize,
Exactly.
fictionalize, or on screen.
Uh, so it stars Rayleigh and Susan Gilliland, who are
Mm-hmm.
Tegan and Sara Quinn on the show.
Uh-huh.
Uh, Kobe Smulders is Simone Bates.
Yes.
Kyle Bornheimer is Patrick. You say Olivia's last name because I can't.
Olivia Royer.
Is Phoebe.
Yeah.
Amanda Fix is Maya.
I love
Esther
Amanda
McGregor
Fix.
is Natalie.
Brienne Chu as
Uh,
Ali.
Ali.
Yeah. These are the main characters though. What's your favorite character? Back to that. Who's your favorite character?
I suck at picking favorites. I
Well,
want to
you
say
need to pick
Tegan.
favorites because if you ever have children, they're gonna tell you who's your favorite. And they're gonna
I
be
would
like,
probably
"Oh,
know. But
you're
the
all
show, I
my
feel like there are
yeah."
so many characters that like a favorite. I don't know. I think Tegan.
I love Tegan. Yeah. Yeah. I love Tegan. That's like actually, yeah, I love her character in there. I love Maya. She's a
I love
mess.
Maya.
I love toxic people.
I think I love Maya because she's very layered.
I think
Like
I love Maya because she interacts with Tegan as well. I just
I
this
feel
whole
like
interaction is my favorite.
Sara and Maya are the characters that are most
Very layered, yes.
layered, and like you can see a lot
Mhm.
of sides of them.
Depth.
I feel like
Yeah.
Phoebe and Tegan are very one-sided characters that
No, I
should be
don't think
more
Tegan is
developed.
one-sided. No. Tegan
I
is
think right
portrayed
now
like that. But
that's
yeah,
what I'm
maybe in
saying.
this part, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like I feel like they should develop her more in the next
Yeah.
seasons.
I
Not that
think
she's
it's Phoebe is supposed to be a one-sided character. I think that's why Sarah feels, safe with her. It's like, the safe space.
and
But
you
I
and you
think
can see, well, there might be a
Tegan just
spoiler.
didn't know how to express her, who she is or herself well. She's not yet at that stage of recognition. Maybe that was intentional in this season that we don't get to see a
Mhm.
major character development of Tegan, and we might see that.
Like you,
Who
of course,
knows?
you see other sides, but I feel like in comparison, Maya and Sara are more layered, and Phoebe and Tegan are more like you don't see a lot of
You know who's
sides.
very layered and we know shit about them? Ali. What the
Oh my
fuck is this
gosh, we
character?
need we
That's a
need season
mystery
2. She's
for this character to understand this character. And then there
Yeah,
is
Ellie's very
Natalie, who's the
mysterious.
comedic
Oh my
relief
god.
in the show.
Oh my god, Natalie
She's
is my
so funny.
favorite. Are you kidding?
Yeah, Natalie. Yeah,
Natalie is
come
my
on.
favorite character. There you go.
Natalie represents me in
Forget
real life,
Tegan.
though. Natalie is me in real life. When I don't want
I
to
love
spoil. No,
Natalie.
no, no. I'm not gonna spoil. Natalie is the best. She's funny and she's, fun to be around and to hang out around. So
And
she's
she she
amazing.
she she brings like she's like not comedy
Comedic
relief.
relief. Yeah, it is
Yeah,
comedy relief. It
but
is,
at the
honestly.
same time, I feel like she makes the characters. I don't know if like she makes them. It's not what like she makes them think, but it's not what it is.
Hmm.
She brings something to the show that makes the other characters develop other things, if that makes sense.
Hmm. Hmm.
I don't know if that
Recognize
makes sense.
themselves.
Yeah, like
She's a tool. She's used not in a bad
yeah,
way, but in literature we
not in a
have
bad
the
way.
tool, the tool that moves the characters along. this is not
Yes.
a this is an important character usually in literature when
Yeah, she's like very
this character.
she's a pivot character. Is that a word? Like I don't know how to explain. She's very important to the plot in a lot of ways.
She's important to the
Even
plot. It's
though
like you have a machine, right? You have a machine and you want it to move, and then there's this screwdriver that is gonna make it move.
like
She's that
even though
screwdriver. What the fuck is
she's
this
her
metaphor?
herself, she's not
She's the
very developed.
screwdriver.
Like we don't really know her backstory or anything like that,
Yeah.
but she's very important to the plot.
Hashtag Natalie the screwdriver.
My favorite character is Natalie for sure. I love her.
Yeah, I love her.
Yeah.
Hashtag Natalie the screwdriver. All right.
I wanted to talk about Allie more, but I feel like we shouldn't just because
Yeah, we don't want to waste the opportunity for people to watch the show and the time as well for
yeah.
that podcast. And my sleeping schedule as well. Please take consider
We
that.
still have to analyze a song. There are two songs
I know.
today.
That's why we're gonna move on to the part that we have to say that there are all Tegan and Sarah music in the show written way before. And of course, as you know, or maybe you don't know, that Tegan and Sarah have remade some of their earliest music before releasing it. Maybe they have released it on the red, yellow, and orange demos.
Yeah, they started
And
writing songs in grade 10,
10.
which is first season of high school, and you see that on the show. And the music that is featured when they play,
Mhm.
like when Tegan and Sarah play songs on the show, they're actual Tegan and Sarah songs from the 90s. So
Mhm. Yeah, but these
that's
songs have
awesome.
been
Like
also on the album Hey, I'm Just Like You,
in
which came
2019,
out in
they
2019 with the book. But we're going to hear the original songs, not the ones that remade
so on the
of these
show it's
songs.
yeah, on the show are the songs that they wrote in the 90s, and then in Hey I'm Just Like You, the album that they released in 2019 is a remake of the songs from the 90s. So you have
Mhm.
pretty much three versions. You have the demo versions from the 90s, then you have the remade versions from 2019, and then you have the versions from the show, which are sang by Rayleigh and Season.
Mhm.
But they're all songs written by Tegan and Sarah in the 90s. They're just like
It's
different
true.
versions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, the songs, as Debbie mentioned, they're in the show. They're played by Rayleigh and Season, and they're sang by Rayleigh and Season. That's very, very beautiful, actually. Very cute.
I think it's so interesting, and I think it's they did an amazing job, and I think as a fan it's really cool to see
Hmm.
like in person or like
Yeah,
dramatized these songs, come to life on
exactly.
screen.
Exactly. Yeah. To have a vision of how the song was played at the beginning,
Yeah.
yeah, or how they figured out the lyrics, etc. One of the songs that we picked for today to analyze is originally called Plank, right? Which is the old band name.
Say that again?
Um, Plank.
No, before I zoned out.
It's called Plank. I don't know. What did I say? I forgot. One of the songs we're analyzing today.
Oh,
That's what
the
I said.
song? Okay.
Mm.
Yes, my bad.
I said I didn't say songs, didn't I? I said something else.
So the songs
Yeah,
we're going to
this
analyze today are Plunk and Hey I'm Just Like You, which are both versions. Plunk is when they wrote it in high school, and then Hey I'm Just Like You is the 2019
revised.
version,
Yeah. Yes,
a
yes.
remake.
Um,
And
I
Plunk,
Am Just Like You is also sang on the show. Or actually the original one, Plunk. It's
yes,
performed
yes,
or
because the
sung on the
lyrics are
show.
different. The lyrics are very,
The original
yeah,
one.
the lyrics
Yes.
for Plunk are very out there. They make no sense. Like they're very,
Yeah, I love how Hey, I'm Just Like You. It portrays, I feel like it's about them as siblings, right?
yeah, I think it's about them as siblings and their friends, and how like in a world
Yeah.
where you're each
They're
other and
lost
you're
and
an
they have each
outsider, you
other.
still have each other. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Uh,
Can you
eat the
still hear me?
drugs and dance to screaming
Can you still
in
hear
my
me?
head. Yeah, I can hear you. Why?
Because one of my AirPods is not working anymore.
Died. Battery died.
Yeah, let me switch.
Okay. It's fine. It's not gonna take us long.
Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you well. Yeah, nothing
Okay.
changed.
Okay. Um,
Yeah.
so so
The
yeah, the lyric,
lyric, eat the drugs and dance to screaming in my head, resembles Tegan and Sara in high school.
yeah.
Screaming in my head, anxiety, obviously. And then there's, I'm so happy that we're friends. And I think this is my favorite part, my favorite one. I'm so happy that we're friends. I feel like it's
And
about, them
and
finding music.
they kept that part
Yeah, in
on
high school, in the show.
the remake. Yeah.
And it's about them being like figuring out this thing, this shared bond over music. And now they're friends after, their rift that happened between them. So I
Yeah.
really, really, and then there's me
Like
and you.
it's about reconnecting.
Hmm. I never feel invisible when you're around. With you, I don't blend with the
But
million, blend in with
I
the
really
million.
like it that it has they the lyrics one time they say I always feel
Mhm.
invisible and I never feel invisible, but in
Invisible.
like different contexts,
Yeah,
meaning like I always feel invisible because I can be myself, and then I
exactly.
never feel invisible because, we're connected and we're friends. And
Oh, you were
so I think,
recognized. Yeah, I don't feel
yeah,
alone, in
exactly.
other words. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, there's this part I'm trying to find the lyric that I love because I don't. Oh, gold colored prisms alive. Gold. I love that. I like the music video. It's not a music video.
Well, it's kind of like a collage of
Yeah, I love it. It's just like
footage
somebody's on
from,
acid. It's like I have never tried acid,
yeah, it's
honestly.
very
So
colorful. Like a lot of the scenes are repeated. It's
yeah, it,
very
it matches the
chaotic.
song and the yeah, it matches the
Yeah.
song and the vibe
Yeah.
and everything.
It's a cool video.
Yeah.
I
It's
think
just
Ash
happy.
did a TikTok with both versions, the show version and the
Was it Hey, I'm Just Like You?
I think it was him just like you.
Or is
Because
it?
I
I know I'm not the
did,
only one.
oh, I don't remember.
I don't remember as well.
I
But yeah, it's
did,
a happy song. It's a very happy and easy song to listen to.
yeah.
What's your favorite lyric of this song?
No, but she did Don't Believe the Things They Tell You They
Ah, I
Lie.
don't believe the things. Yeah, that's another song. Yeah.
Both
That's on the
versions.
show and on the
Wait,
there's a new version.
that was the one I did. I thought you did a different one. Anyways.
What the hell? You forgot your own edit. Oh my
No,
God.
I thought that's the one I did, and I thought she did a different one, but I think she did the same because it's from the same scene. They're playing. I'm not gonna say spoilers, but
Ah, yeah, don't. What's your favorite lyric of Hey, I'm Just Like You or Plank?
oh shit. I think
My pants are
the
huge and chocolate covered because that's mine. My pants are huge and
no, my
chocolate covered
favorite
all
I
the
think is
time.
the I'm so happy that we're friends, me and you.
Yeah, that's the one. I love this one. Hey, I'm just like you. A little messed up and
And
ooh.
I remember when Season was learning the song, she went live and then she was playing this song, Flunk. And her favorite part was My Pants Are Huge and Chocolate Covered.
Ah, that's true.
And she plays it and she's so excited.
Yeah. I
That was
remember the
cute.
live. It was we were
Yeah.
so excited. This is why I want season two. I want to see the filming. I want to be excited. I want to see all of that because we don't see anything anymore. And I thrive seeing the behind the scenes and the
Well, but we don't know if they're coming back because they
whole
haven't
thing.
been
Even though
on
I don't think he
TikTok.
as they're gonna show us and since ever. Anyway, this is one of the songs that they play on the show, the Tegan,
Hmm.
original Tegan and Sara songs. There are others, like I Don't Believe the Things They Say, but the original versions of them. And by the way, on the book, you can hear the original demos if you are listening to it on Audible.
Yeah,
But on the
if
show,
you
you can hear Rayleigh in season singing. So that's the
yeah, so
difference.
if you get the audiobook, you have all of or most of the demos,
Hmm.
and then you can listen to them from the audiobook, and then on the show, some of them like parts of the song are on the show, part of the songs, and
Definitely.
then you have the Hey I'm Just Like You album from 2019 with the remake of
Hmm.
most of the songs too.
Yeah. Um, I guess that's it for today. But before we wrap up, we would like to start a tag or a hashtag on Twitter, maybe Instagram as well, that can help us get the show renewed. Um, the decision Tegan said is going to be made on January, and we're already starting to, post the hashtags. Only me and Debbie, of course, are posting on it. So please do it. I mean,
Are we keeping that hashtag, or are we doing just
I know.
Renew
What do
High
you think? Do
School?
you think? Do you think
I
it
don't
should
know.
be? And Dominique, please participate on that. Is it Renew High School or Renew High School on Freevee? The reason I said on Freevee is because high school is a very wide,
Yeah,
you know, or
it's
could be
too
Renew
broad.
High School season two. It's too broad, but at the same time, like Renew High School, people are gonna be like, "What is that?" They're gonna click on it.
I
It's
think
we're
I don't
using
know.
Renew High School on Freeview right now, but if you think Renew High School is better, go ahead and tell us, please. Would switch, but we want your participation on the hashtag. We hope it gets renewed. I mean, come on, it, it can get renewed. We just need to work hard on that.
Yeah,
Tell Freevee,
I started to tag Freevee on
Freevee.
TikTok
I'm
every
starting
day.
to mention them. To mention
Yeah,
them, please
I've
mention
been
Freevee as
mentioning
well.
them on TikTok every day. Like I go to an edit and then I just tag them and
Hmm.
then I'm like, please renew high school. So I did that 3 times
Exactly.
already. Um, and then
But here's the
I
thing, one person isn't enough. One or two people isn't enough. So we need more people. It's a
yeah.
community.
But
Individualism is not going to
we
work
need
in
to
here.
pick a hashtag though.
Yeah.
I I don't
So
know.
far
I
it's
have
Renew
the
High
feeling
School on
that for
Freevee.
Freebie they would prefer if Freebie was on the hashtag, but I don't
Yeah.
know if we use Freebie in the hashtag, then it's gonna be shadow banned because other platforms are not gonna want to promote Freebie, you know? So I don't know what to
But
do.
hashtags
Maybe
with
both?
Netflix always
They do they use Netflix for
mm,
hashtags?
sometimes, yeah.
So keep it. Let's just do the same hashtag. So
Well, let's
if you
see.
guys
Let's see if
can,
it gets shadow banned, we're gonna change it. It's fine.
well, this is not coming until January 1st, this
Uh-huh.
episode.
I know, I know,
So
I
until
know.
then, are we gonna just use Renew High School on Freebie?
Uh-huh. Do you have another
Okay.
suggestion?
No, just Renew High School, but you said
Mm.
that like they use Netflix, so I think it
We
should
can
be
use both.
fine.
Here's the thing. We can use both and see which one gets trending. We can use both. It's fine. The same
We're so
tweet.
delusional.
I, God. See, I am delusional, but my delusions have got me everywhere I wanted. So,
Yeah. So both? Let's just use both.
come on. I was very delusional thinking that high school would be a show 3 years ago, and here it is. It's a show. And we're trying to get it renewed. I was so delusional thinking Olivia Royer is going to play Phoebe.
Yeah, you were
She's great.
and you were correct.
Makes
Okay, so
sense.
hashtag Renew High School on Freebie. We already started, Miriam and I did it, started it on Twitter. No one else
It's the
used it.
same thing. You can only find me, just like when if you search Sarah Quinn, you're gonna find only my tweets, calling her my mom.
Same for
Yeah.
Renew High School on Freebie. It's only
It's
me and
just my
Miriam,
tweets, and then there's one or two tweets by Debbie.
but we really want it to be renewed. So maybe please help us hashtag tag Freebie on social media. Like I've been doing it once
Hmm.
a day, so you can pick the social media that you want once a day, tag them, and
I do
just
it on Twitter and I do mention FreeVee on TikTok whenever there's a high school edit. I'm like, look, FreeVee, people are making edits. You know what? We should mention FreeVee on that really huge edit, the one that's it has 1.1 million likes. It's of Phoebe's character,
yeah,
and this is a very not a spoiler, no. It's a major scene with Phoebe and her mom in the show, and
hmm
it has 1.1 million likes, other than I think almost 5 million views, and people are wondering what
yeah. I
is
think
this
that's the
from.
biggest edit on TikTok
We should
for
mention
the
Freebie
show.
to see that, I guess, on that edit.
Yeah,
Please mention Freebie. Tell them we want season two. Watch it if you have not watched season one.
stream
Share
it,
this podcast.
watch
Yes,
it with your
please.
friends, with your family. Each time,
Hmm.
it makes a difference.
Yes, it makes a lot of
Talk
difference. We
about
don't want
it.
another, queer show getting canceled. This is just
Yeah,
brutal what's happening right now. So this show means a lot to us as fans of Tegan and Sara, and as fans of the show and the actors that play on it, and they did their best, and they also wish to have it renewed. It would be a nice surprise if we get the news that it's going for season two on in January, like a Happy New Year. Here's your surprise. So please let us get to that. You can always answer our question for this episode, which I'm going to repeat right now. And it is, what was your favorite part about season one that you wish to keep? And what would you wish not to see in season two when it comes to high school? Respond to our question
you can
on
comment
in the
here on
comments if you're
YouTube
watching this on YouTube,
or
exactly. And if you're listening, you can just go on Twitter. We're gonna ask the question and then tell us your answers. Um, uh, you can also tell us who's your favorite character on the show. Say whatever you want in the comments, and if you'd like to see us analyze each episode, that is also you can comment doing that.
yeah, you can
You
find us
can
on
follow,
Twitter.
yeah, on Twitter. Debbie,
Wanna
you can
talk?
find her account. Oh
Our
yeah,
Twitter is Wanna Talk
personal
TNS
Twitters.
Pod.
Oh,
My
that's not the
Twitter,
personal one. That's the podcast Twitter.
yes,
Yeah, I want to
my
talk
Twitter,
TNS Pod. Sorry.
not TNS lyrics. I think it's delayed a little bit.
Oh yeah, it is.
Uh,
Your
my Twitter is
is the
not TNS lyrics, and you can also find me on TikTok. I post Tegan and Sara edits almost every day. Paroko Debbie,
Mhm.
Parokodeby. How
Yeah,
about
and
you?
I'm still want the maximum.
I thought you were gonna change.
I forgot, as
Conhood.
usual. It's still want the maximum right now. I can't say it's confident when it's not.
Anyways,
It might be changed to Conhood. It might be changed. So either this or that. Just, if you're gonna find me on Debbie's account, I'm always
yeah, you
talking.
can if you type Debbie, Tegan and Sara, you're gonna find me. And if you type Miriam or Mare, Tegan and Sara, you will find her.
You know
So
what? You know what? Search Sarah Quinn. I'm the person calling her mom.
thanks for watching.
Yeah, thank you so much for this episode. Share, like, subscribe, whatever people do.